F1.
F1. Wow.
So coming off the Hungary,
AFL.
wasn't too bad actually. It's better than the siren. Coming off the Hungary Grand Prix and moving into the summer break, Max Verstappen did win that race, starting from 10th with a great tyre strategy. Ferrari shit the bed again. There had been some rumours floating around that the Ferrari boss potentially might get the sack during the summer.
Really?
I don't think it'll happen, but the fact that they keep fucking up the tyre strategy, going to hard tyres on a lot of them. It was actually an interesting race where a lot of them went to the hard tyres, which actually were very, very poor for a race pace. But they got forced into them, Ferrari, but they maybe should have stuck to the guns a little bit more instead of panic, which has been Ferrari's issue. I think they panicked in this one and ended up costing them. And then the Mercedes ended up second, third. Hamilton was second, second finish for him in a row. Second time they were 2 and 3 for him and Russell. So Mercedes coming. I think they probably will take Ferrari in the constructors. Don't think they'll catch Red Bull, but we'll see depending on how Perez goes, I guess. And if that's the and then I think they're too far away in the drivers. Still a long season to go, but I think they'd need Max to have a few DNFs and Lewis to win a couple of races to get to that point. So
they're 100 points behind Red Bull with 10 races to go. You probably don't see them catching him there in the constructors.
No, it would really depend on Perez finishing poorly and DNFs etc. to catch him. But yeah, unlikely. It's probably Red Bull's year this year. But otherwise, Hungary was very close and a lot of good racing. The new race cars kind of proving that they definitely have improved the race quality and what we're seeing on the track week in, week out. So it's been pretty good. And then I guess we get to the silly season that is the summer break where they talk about F1 driver seats. So who's got a seat for next season? And Alonso kicked it all off. By all accounts, July 31st, Oscar, how do you say his last
Piastri?
name? Piastri. His contract finished. Next day, Alonso announces that he's going to Aston Martin, switching to go to the seat there, taking Vettel's seat after he retires, with a huge big middle finger essentially to Alpine in this one, because they knew nothing about it, only found out about it in the press release for Alonso. Then I guess tried to get ahead of the ball, saying that Oscar was going to be their driver next season. Whose manager is actually Mark Webber.
Really?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So, but
Queen Bee represent.
Yeah. But then Oscar tweeted saying that I'm not driving for them next year. There's nothing in agreement. So there's a whole bunch of contract stuff going on. It sounds like they had a deal done with McLaren for Danny Ricciardo's seat for next season. And then McLaren have told Ricciardo that his services are no longer needed. Go find a seat. So he's gone back to Alpine, which was Renault, who he used to drive for.
Well, this hasn't all been confirmed yet, has it?
Not yet. By all accounts, it sounds like Alpine and McLaren have lodged their contracts for renewal with the F1, for review, not renewal, so review with F1 to see how they'd go, because McLaren can't get out of Ricciardo's contract without paying him large money. So potentially they're going to pay him large money to get out of his contract because the option's in his favour. But they're not going to announce anything, I think, until Ricciardo's found another seat, which looks like they're going to Alpine to potentially do that. So
driver swap.
Yeah, do a straight swap there. So it's a bit unfortunate the Australians stealing the seat from another Australian. But potentially good for us. Next year we might have 2 Australians in F1 with seats. So, pretty wild kickoff from Alonso, essentially fucking over Alpine, because Oscar also was meant to be Alonso's replacement. So he's also going, by all accounts, to McLaren. So it could be...
well, there was heaps of other rumours with him being loaned out to Williams.
Williams confirmed Alex Albon will stay there.
Yep. So I think it was more for Latifi than anything else.
Yes. But also I think that was more this year too. So
it was,
yeah. Whether they'd can Latifi and give Oscar a bit of a run. Again, trying to get him to confirm a seat. But looks like they've done the deal with McLaren, and we'll just have to see in the coming days whether it all gets approved, gets finalised. But it'll be interesting to see. Hopefully, Danny can Ricciardo can keep a seat for next season, but it's looking likely. Well, actually, enter the chat. Schumacher talking during the week that he's all about Ferrari. He could see himself in a Ferrari, moving to Ferrari. Following in his father's footsteps, which probably means Carlos Sainz would have to give up his spot. But I don't think Ferrari's going to do that. I think they're quite happy with what they've got. I think it's more...
That Ferrari pairing's really good. They just need get their strategies right. Yeah.
I wonder if it's more Schumacher kind of laying groundwork for future seasons discussions. Not next year, but maybe the year after kind of thing. But Haas haven't confirmed their drivers, so there's potentially a seat there. Whether I think Schumacher's guaranteed to be at Haas with their sponsorship dealings in Germany. It's more whether they get rid of Kevin, get rid of Magnussen. Maybe that frees up a seat. But that's a big step back for Danny, and whether Ricciardo would want to do something like that. But anyway, silly season. Seats are up for grabs. Potentially anyone could be driving for McLaren. That's been all the memes that they've 20 different drivers are driving from McLaren next season. And
I think Norris is definitely sure.
Or Oscar's confirmed driving for every team next year. Like that's all been all the things. But yeah, it sounds like McLaren want to go a bit younger and get a potential future champion in Oscar. He won F3, he won F2, so whether he can win a F1 championship.
Few weeks off. 28th of August is the Belgian Grand Prix. So what's that? 3 weeks?
3 weeks.
3 weeks away.
Yeah, the summer break.